Okay, and I again welcome all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on which location you are from. And I'm Nishant Shukla, and I welcome you on behalf of Edureka for this webinar where we are going to talk about the difference between the PMP Prince2 and the PMI-ACP. And before we move ahead, before we start, let's understand, just a few words about myself, an introduction. I'm Nishant Shukla, as I told you. I have more than 2 decades of experience and worked at various positions, project and program management positions in past 12 years, and worked with various companies like Cisco, Hewlett Packard. And I had been doing training for past more than 13 years, and I've clocked in more than 11,000 hours of training experience on the various topics and various subjects, and trained a lot of people on PMP, a lot of people on program management trainings and customized trainings and leadership and project leadership trainings as well. Talking about the PMP, I take pride in telling you that I've trained thousands of people, and the success rate, the passing percentage of those people who attended the training was really very good, extremely high, and the best part is I am still in touch with almost half of them. I'm all over there on the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find me. You can connect me with the, on the social media if you want to, and you can anytime shoot your question, drop me a mail, drop me a note with your questions, and I'll be glad to answer each and every query that I receive there. Moving on to the next, because the time is just 1 hour and we have to cover a lot of things today. Let's understand what we are going to learn today. So I have kept this agenda very short and crisp, and we will be spending a lot of time in the question answer as well. What we are going to learn is understand the different project management methodologies, understand what the methodology is, what are the different certifications in project management which are based on these methodologies, what is the difference in PMP, PMI-ACP and Prince2, and then the billion-dollar question, how to choose the right certification, which one is the right certification for me, which will help me grow my career, and what is the eligibility criteria for these certifications, how the exam is conducted, how much time it is needed to prepare for the examination, and a lot of additional information as well. So the agenda is very interesting, and I'm sure you will have a lot of questions coming up there. And please keep those questions ready and in your mind. And I'll take the logical break and answer all those questions. And towards the end of the session, I have kept some time to answer all your questions. Before we move into the details, a just quick comparison, a quick snapshot of what we are going to learn today, what we are going to discuss today. So this will give you an overview that how this webinar is going to be. So we have done a comparison here, PMP, PMI-ACP and Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner Examination. So what this examination are based on, what is the geographical relevance, how many questions are there in the examination, what is the pattern of this examination, what is the passing score there, how I can take that examination, where I need to go to take the examination, what is the cost of this examination, uh, what is the validity of this certification or credential that I'm going to earn, how and when I need to renew this certification, what do I need to renew these certifications, and another important and the most important point, how much time is needed to prepare for these different certification and different examination. I know you must be having a lot of questions, but I request you to keep the questions ready in your mind, because we are going to get into the details of all these things that we have discussed here and much more than this. Okay. Before moving on to the next one, before we talk about these certifications, we need to understand that these certifications are based on different project management methodologies. Okay, and if you want to know the difference in these certification, then first you must understand the difference or the basis of these project management methodology first. What are the different methodology that they are based on, what is the basis of these methodology. Based on that, we will decide which certification we need to choose, which is good for us. Okay, so let's understand what is a methodology. I'm sure you must have heard of this word a lot of time, methodology. Someone talks about agile methodology. Some people talk about waterfall approach. These are different roadmaps. These are the different guidelines given to you or set by an organization, basis on which you're going to manage your project. You will use these approach or the steps defined in those methodology to design, to plan, to execute, implement, monitor and control, and close your project, and thus achieving the project objective. When I say model, there are different models available, and there is no model which is one size fits all. The model, the methodology, or the approach what works for a construction project, the same cannot work for a software application or development project in the same fashion. So we need to choose this methodology carefully, and we need to choose this, apply this different methodology for different project based on their business domain, the industry requirement, and sometime it can be the geographical location as well. So methodology is the basis of all these certifications. And what are the certifications? You know very well, we are going to talk about PMP, PMI-ACP, and Prince2. So who will give you the certification? Who is the governing body here? So PMP and PMI-ACP are the certifications which are awarded by Project Management Institute, or PMI, which is a not-for-profit organization based out of US. And they have been doing a significant work in uplifting the standards of project management. Prince2 is given by Axelos, which owns this Prince2 and ITIL standards. And Axelos has multiple EIs, that is Examination Institute. You must have heard of APMG, you must have heard of People Cert, and then there is CSME, and there is one more, and edureka is Accredited Training Organization of People Cert, which is an EI of Axelos, a very prominent examination institute of Axelos. And edureka is also an REP, registered education provider of PMI. So we are authorized to give you the training on these topics and subjects, and our courseware is approved by the different bodies here. Moving on to the next, now the real topic starts here. What is the difference in PMBOK guide and Prince2? Because these certifications are based on certain standards. Let's talk about that. PMBOK guide versus Prince2, a comparison of that. Okay. Before that, let me just see if there are any. If you have any questions, keep writing it in the question or in the chat window which you see on the right side of your screen, and I'll be glad to answer those questions here. So PMBOK guide is basically a knowledge-based approach to the project management, which focuses on how, on what you should know, how you're going to do that. Whereas Prince2 is a process-based methodology which focuses on what you should do. In nutshell, I'll give you a simple example. Suppose you bought a car, okay, and PMBOK guide gives you the standards, gives you the collection of the best practices, that what are the generally accepted guidelines across the globe. Okay, and Prince2 is going to give you a checklist, is going to give you a integrated set of processes which you need to follow, and it will give you it will provide you the reference from time to time that what might be useful at this stage. So you bought a car and you set into that and you started driving. Now first thing is PMBOK guide, or the which is PMP certification, which is based on the PMBOK guide. It will expect you to have some experience in driving. It expects that you need to know some basics of driving even before you sit into the car and start driving there. Okay, and when you start driving, you see a pothole on the road. PMBOK guide is going to suggest you that, okay, if you see any pothole, then there are multiple options available to you. These are the standard techniques that people across the globe adopt. You want, you can take a diversion. If you want, you can use your brakes, you can slow down, you can stop the car, you can turn back, and you can take some other route as well. So these are the different options available to you. Now you decide which one is the right decision, because there are multiple factors which can influence that decision. Okay. Another important point to understand here is, in the same situation, how Prince2 is going to guide you. So I told you, PMP or the PMBOK guide suggests that before you sit into the car, you need to have some experience. You must have practiced driving the car for a while before you start following this, or before you drive the car. Prince2 says you need not to have any experience. You can first certify, you can learn while following this methodology that we have. Okay. And when you reach to a point where you see a pothole in front, Prince2 will tell you that, okay, now you are into this situation, and using or applying the brake and slowing down will be useful. So you should slow down now. Okay. So I hope you understand the difference. PMBOK guide focuses on the knowledge that there are different options available to the project manager, and project manager must use their discretion based on the organization guidelines, organization guidance, and the requirement and the subjective nature of the work, and take a decision. Whereas Prince2 is going to give you the set of processes which will give you the recommendations or the references that, okay, now you are at this stage and you should use this process, and they also provide you a template, a reference how you should use it. Whereas PMBOK guide is just giving you the multiple options available to you. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Any questions here? Okay, so there is a question from Ravindran, which is asking, can briefly talk about where PMP Prince2 fit in ITL service lifecycle? Ravindran, yes, definitely I'll answer this question, but I'll park this question right now because we have to cover PMI ACP as well. Once we cover this, I'll definitely answer your question. Okay, and moving on to the next year. So this slide talks about the key differences between these two certifications. So PMP certification, as I told you, which is based on the PMBOK guide, is not a methodology, but it's a collection of the best practices across the globe. Organizations can pick and choose the practices or the processes based on their requirement, and they will build their own methodology. Okay. Whereas Prince2 is a fully grown developed methodology with all the detailed process models and templates, and also the sequence in which you need to follow that. Okay. PMP follows or focuses on the knowledge and skills for the successful completion, whereas Prince2 focuses on the framework and processes. As I told you, imagine yourself sitting in the car, you are driving, and depending on the situation, you will have all the best practices available to you, and depending on the situation, you will have to take the right decision, whether I should slow down, I should take a diversion, or I should just stop the car, or maybe I should go back. Whereas Prince2 will tell you, okay, when you say this, apply the brake, slow down, or when you see this kind of pothole, take a diversion. So there is a step-by-step guidance given. Okay. PMBOK guide is a reference guide which is quite theoretical and descriptive. Okay, and it provides you the techniques and practices, whereas Prince2 is a practical approach and it gives a step-by-step guidance on what to do, which I just explained to you. And the best part about both the methodologies and both the credentials are that where the processes can be tailored. You can customize the processes, you can make changes to the processes as per your needs and as per your requirement. Okay, there is a question here. Let me just read out this question. This question is from Ravi Kiran Shinoy. Did I miss the prerequisite for PMP certification? No, Ravi Kiran, you haven't missed it yet. We are about to go there and we will cover that in a while from now. Okay. So I hope this difference is clear to everyone. Any questions at this point of time? Anything you want to ask here? Okay, so there are a few more differences that I think you should know here, that uh, PMP is, PMP is made up of multiple knowledge areas. Okay, if you know about PMBOK guide, if you know about the PMP, you know there are 10 knowledge areas, and each of these knowledge area can be used in isolation, can be repeated, or can be utilized in isolation. Whereas in Prince2, it's an integrated set of processes. Okay, and there are themes as well which cover the entire project life cycle. Okay, there is a question here, not question basically, but a comment from Prabhu. Sounds like PMP is for the project managers and Prince2 is for the team. Absolutely correct, and that is where I was about to come to. PMP focuses on the knowledge and skills of the project manager. It targets only at the project manager. Okay, whereas Prince2 is for the team. Prince2 emphasizes that what each team member should do or must do in certain situation. What are the processes? What is the roles and responsibility of each and every team member there? So that is very important. And as I told you, I am telling you repeatedly, for PMP, the approach that PMP follows is practice and then get certified. Okay, that's a prerequisite part which we are going to cover in some time. So PMP says practice and then get certified, whereas Prince2 says get qualified and then practice, get certified first and then practice. And that's why in a later slide you'll see for PMP you need to have a certain amount of experience, but for Prince2, even if you have zero experience, you are just a fresher, just started your career, you can start, you can do this certification, you can acquire this certification here. Okay, uh, project management is again is a very wide subject and wide body. It's very difficult to cover the difference here in few slides, so I have taken only the high level and high point, very high level points here. Let's understand the approach that each of this methodology or the standard follows. Our PMP follows traditional approach, which is a waterfall methodology, sequential manner, finish the work in a sequential manner. Prince2, now there are a lot of debates going on. It's not controversial, I must say, but there are a lot of arguments given whether it is a waterfall approach or it's a agile approach. I would say it's more of a hybrid approach, okay, which is slightly more inclined towards a waterfall methodology. Prince2 has different domains here, or you can say the steps where you start the project, you initiate the project, you direct the project, you control the different stages, you manage the stage boundaries. Now this control stage and manage the stage boundaries are the stages where you keep doing the iterative action. But before this, we will forward following the sequential approach, sequential processes here. And that's why it is more of a hybrid approach. Okay. And there is a point from Ravi Kiran in terms of scope. Companies look for and are aware of PMP, but do they know Prince2? Answer within the session, if not immediately. Yes, Ravi Kiran, I'll answer this question right now here. Yes, organizations do know Prince2. It's more related to the geographical presence of that company. So that point is covered under geographical relevance. Prince2 was a methodology which was devised by UK government for the governance of their project, IT related projects, and that was done in 1989. So Prince2 plays a prominent role and it's quite valued in the European region in UK. Whereas PMP is global, almost everyone knows about it. And Palani has a point. What about agile methodologies? Are there no certifications for it? Palani, just hold on for a few minutes. We are reaching there. We are going to cover PMI-ACP as well. Okay. So the approach what PMP and Prince2 follow is they look at the constraints of the projects. And what are the key constraints of the project? Scope, time, and cost with the quality in the center of it. Okay. Scope, time, and cost, once they are finalized, they cannot be changed. customer does not have a liberty to go and change it anytime they want. Of course, change is the only constant in the world, only constant in our professional life. When we work as a project manager or we are working as a project in a project team, the only thing or one of the things that really worries us is the change coming from the customer. There is a process to handle the change, and it goes through this rigorous process of change control process, which where the changes are presented to the change control board. They will review it and they will approve or reject it based on certain factors and situation here. Okay. Ravindran is asking a question: are there any product management approach similar to project management? Yes, there are different product management approaches available, but I can forward you some resources of this session, but we will not be covering that topic here. Maybe we can connect offline where I will be able to give you guidance on that. Okay. So I was coming back to this triangle here, triple constraint theorem here. Change here is not so easy. It has to follow the change control process. And what traditional approach says, before you start working on the project, you finalize its scope, you finalize the time, you finalize the cost, and everything must remain intact. If there are changes, you must follow the process and get an approval before you implement the changes. Okay. Whereas if we talk about agile approach, agile is different. Okay, your time and cost may remain constant, but the scope will be iterative. Okay, so you will not decide the and you will not decide the and approach in the beginning, or sorry, the final product in the beginning, but you will keep it open. You will define the different stages where you are going to do some work, reach to a level, then include the team members, all the team member and the customer and all the important stakeholder, review that, take their feedback, take their input, and based on that you decide the scope, or based on that you decide the next iteration. So this is your agile methodology. This is your iterative or adaptive approach, which is the basis of your PMI-ACP examination. Okay, so there are two questions coming from Sudhir. Okay, one question coming from Sudhir. Can you please touch upon what is included in PMI PBA? Sudhir, I'm sorry, we will not have time to talk about PMI PBA, but I will definitely, if there is some time left, I will definitely put some light on PMI PBA as well. If not, please be assured you will get your answers after the session. We can connect offline as well. And Manav is asking, can you explain more on iterative approach? And Palan is asking, what does ACP? ACP stands for Agile Certified Practitioner. And yes, Manav, I can repeat that. So traditional approach says the scope, time, and cost you must finalize before you start execution. When you end the planning phase, you must have planned everything basis on the finalized scope. But not everything can be constant. There are certain areas where the requirement keep changing, and that's why a lot of the software development companies, especially the software development companies, they follow this agile approach. So what they do is they do not they keep a lot of flexibility in terms of scope. So the entire delivery will be broken into different sprints, okay, or different stages, to understand it easily. So what you'll do is you will achieve one stage, complete the work for a particular stage, you will involve your customer, you will involve the team members, and then you will review what has been done, and you will also ensure that it is as per the requirement of the customer. And customer, if it is not as per requirement, they will give you the input or feedback that what is right and what is not. In a traditional approach, it will be considered as a change which will have to follow the change control process, but here it's a part of the process. Okay, so you will receive those inputs and you will incorporate those inputs in the while planning for the next stage. Okay, so Manav is asking, Is it similar to cost per profit contract? That's a completely different topic. Cost per profit contract, Mano. It's very difficult to link up this agile approach to cost per profit. Okay. Yuvraj is asking, can you explain which methodology would be best for infrastructure related project? Is it PMP Prince2, waterfall model or agile model? Yuvraj, let us complete this first. I would request you to hold on to your question, and once we complete this, we do a comparative analysis, then we are going to talk about this. I think you will get a lot of input from there. Okay. Manav says, need more example. How do a project be identified if there is no defined scope? It is not the defined scope. For example, you work in an organization where you need to implement a let's say ITSM tool. For example, ServiceNow. If you are coming from IT industry, you would probably know that tool. Now, it would require a lot of customization, a lot of fine tuning in terms of processes. And what happens when the organization, when they implement these large scale tools, even they may not estimate correctly that what will be the impact of bringing change into those processes. So what they do is they do this in different stages. So they will pick up one section, they will bring in some changes here, and they will see how effective the process change is there, and whether they need to use the same approach for the next iteration or not. Based on that, they will take a call there. So it's like walking in the mist. You know where you have to reach. You know you have to reach to a destination, but which and how you're going to take, what roadmap you're going to take, it's like walking in the mist. You take one step ahead, and you will have the clarity for one step ahead. Okay. I can see a lot of questions coming up here. PMI-ACP or CSM, Certified Scrum Master, is a better option. Abhilash, PMI-ACP is about the management, using the managing a project, and CSM is an approach which is specifically for software development approach. Okay. How would reporting be done? Manav, I think see you have a lot of questions related to PMI-ACP. What I suggest is that after this session, I'm going to send you link for a webinar which is specifically for PMI-ACP. Okay, I'm sure it is going to answer all your questions. If not, I'm available to you. You can reach out to me for any question, and we will have a offline discussion there. Okay. And Ravi Kiran is asking, how will one take care of quality as a PMI-ACP certified? For example, as Agile Sprint will not focus on quality and testing being done. Yes, that's a very difficult question here, but you know, what defines the quality? The quality means fulfillment of the requirement. So you will not plan the entire quality in one go, but whatever inputs and feedbacks that you have received from the customer, when you complete that sprint, you have to ensure that those are being fulfilled. Look at the basic definition of the quality: fulfillment of the objective and conformance to the requirement. Okay, that defines the quality, which you will have to again monitor at different stages. And moving on to the next topic here, next slide here, where we can see the difference in PMI, ACP and PMP is PMP, as I told you, is based on the traditional waterfall project management approach. It follows a sequential process, where PMI-ACP is based on the agile approach, which follows a sequential incremental approach, iterative processes. Important point is to understand, if you have a very clear picture of how the final product is going to look like, you are going to use this traditional waterfall approach. Where you do not have a very clear picture of how the final product is going to be or how it should look like, you will decide as you move, then you will have to use agile approach. Okay. In traditional waterfall, client may not have or will not have the ability to change the scope once it has started. Ability in the sense, it will not be a free will that okay, whenever they want they can change it. But agile approach gives them this liberty and flexibility to change. If they see the work which is being done not fulfilling their requirement, they have the liberty to provide their feedback and input, which the team will incorporate in the next sprint. Okay, so I think that gives a good perspective to all of you about the PMP Prince2 and PMI ACP. Now the most important question, which certification to go for? Okay. So I want to tell you one thing at this point of time. These certifications are not in competition with each other, but they complement each other. Okay, there is nothing called as inferior or superior. It is completely based on the requirement of the organization. Okay, and which certification to choose for? You need to you need to take a call that what is the industry that you're working in, which location you are based out of, your customer is based out of which location. Because if you see the table below, geographical relevance, it says PMP is more popular or prominent, has a prominent presence in India, USA, Canada, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Australia, whereas Prince2 is quite popular in India as well, UK, all the European region, and Australia, and PMI-ACP is across the globe. Wherever there is you know the requirement is that you do not have a very clear picture of how the end product is going to look like, you will use your agile approach. Mostly all these software companies uses the agile approach. So Ravi Karan has mentioned that you did not mention whether PMI-ACP can be done by a fresher similar to that of a project Prince2. Ravi Karan, your question will be answered in the next slide. You need some amount of experience for PMI-ACP as well. Okay, so this $1 billion question that I was telling you, do not get influenced by what your friend is saying that, okay, see, I did PMP and PMP is the supreme most certification, go for it. Or someone did the Prince2 certification, he says, hey, PMP is dying, Prince2 is the best. No, that is an absolutely wrong comparison of these two certification. You need to take this decision based on two factors. First is which industry you're working in, your organization, the type of work your company does. Second is the geographical relevance, which is actually quite prominent. Okay. Uh, Abhilash is saying, are you sharing any presentation? I'm not able to see any slide. Yes, Abhilash, I am sharing the slides here, and I think people are able to view that. In case if you have any difficulties, you need not to worry, you will receive the recording of the session as well. Okay. So I think this is a call, this is a decision that you need to take, that which certification to go for. If you have any doubt, if you have any specific questions, or you are not able to decide, I'm always there to help you out. You can reach out to me, you can drop me a mail, or you can contact me. I'm going to share my contact details in a while. Okay. Jagadish has a question, which approach is more suitable for home appliance industries and which approach is suitable for engineering service center? Jagdish, I'm sorry, I need to understand more details about this home appliance industry. I think you're talking about the product. And these days we have seen most of the product organization, they're actually adopting agile approach very rapidly. Whereas engineering service center, I think service organizations, whatever project they use, whatever amount of service organizations are mostly operation centric organizations, and their traditional project management approach works well. But this is based on my understanding of these two industry type that you mentioned. If you can give me more details about it, I'll be able to probably give you the specific answers to that. Okay, Ravi Karan is saying, will the slides be shared or it's exclusive? How will I remember the key points? Ravi Kiran, you need not to make notes of it. After the session gets over, within few hours, you are going to receive the recording of this session, and the slides will be uploaded on the slide share. You will have access to that. Okay, so you need not to worry about that part. Moving on to the details and key specific details, which I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for, that what is the exact difference at different level. So this slide talks about the specific difference. PMP certification is based on PMBOK guide. Okay, but important point to understand here is it is not limited to PMBOK guide. PMP exam you will see almost 65 to 70% of the questions are based on the PMBOK guide, coming from the PMBOK guide, but almost 30 to 35% of the questions will be coming from the outside of it, because it also entails the general skills of the project manager. Okay, that is the reason when I told you that it expects that people need to have, or the PMP aspirants need to have some experience. So that will be, those questions will be coming from the general management skills to check your project management common sense. Okay. PMI-ACP, there is no standard guidance available for PMI. They have given a list of all the references. There are certain books like one of the most popular book is by Mike Griffith, which is named as PMI-ACP exam public preparation. So there are reference material available. If you go to pmi.org website, you will be able to see a list of all the references that PMI has. And Prince2 examination, foundation and practitioner both are based on this official manual, managing successful projects with Prince2. This is called as Prince2 manual. So you must go through this manual before you go for the examination. And PMP exam, don't even think of going for PMP examination without reading this PMBOK guide cover to cover. Okay. Of course, you need to read these books, reference material for PMI-ACP as well. Okay. Talking about the type of examination and the number of questions in PMP examination, you will have to answer 200 questions in 4 hours time. Whereas in PMI-ACP, it is 120 questions in 3 hours. And Prince2 Foundation will have 75 questions in 1 hour's time. And practitioner will have 8 different sections. Each section will have 10 questions, which you need to answer in 2.5 hours. So roughly around 80 questions in 2.5 hours time. Examination pattern, PMP will have all the abstract questions with multiple choice, and so does PMI-ACP will have, and Prince2 Foundation as well. But Prince2 practitioner, in the examination, you will be given a scenario, you will be given a case study, and that case study will be a project, and you will be asked questions based on the case study which is given to you. Okay, so they are all scenario based objective questions. Okay, so next important point is people have a lot of myths and wrong information around this. Passing score for PMP and PMI-ACP examination. Until 2005, PMI used to give the percentage or the marks, and you had to score 61% or higher to pass into the PMP examination. But they stopped doing it from November 2005 onwards. Now it is more of a psychometric assessment. Based on the complexity of the question, difficulty level of the question, they will do an analysis and they will be giving you grade and decide whether you are going to you are eligible to earn this PMP credential or not. Okay, so it's a psychometric assessment. If anyone says you need 61% marks to pass or clear this examination, that information is wrong, incorrect information. For PMI-ACP also, it's the same approach. It is not disclosed at end of the examination. For each domain, you are going to receive these grades: moderate proficient, proficient, or below proficient. Okay, and PMI uses an approach which is not known to the outside world, basis on which they will decide whether you are passed or not. For Prince2 Foundation, the passing score is 50%, and for practitioner it is 55%. Okay. Examination center, where you can take this examination. PMP and PMI-ACP exams are conducted in prometric centers. So they are computer-based examination, and then they are paper-based examination. India generally, they have not seen that many places where they conduct the PBT or paper-based test. Mostly it is computer-based test, and that is done at prometric center. There are 6 prometric centers in India, all 4 metro cities, and Bangalore and Hyderabad. If you are in Pune, or if you are in Chandigarh, or if you are in some other town, you need to travel to your nearby metro city to take the PMP examination. Now PMI has started organizing PBT, that is paper based examination, in certain city. And if you want to know details about that, just drop me a note and I will revert to you with the information on what date they're organizing this paper-based test, and you can make use of this opportunity. For Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner Certificate, the examination is online. Edureka, as I told you, is an accredited training organization of PeopleCert. So once you enroll with us for examine for this training, Prince2 training, at the end of this training, you will receive a voucher from us, using which you can download this examination application on your personal computer or the laptop, and you can take this examination from anywhere in the world. All you need is a webcam and a microphone in your laptop or computer. Okay, I hope this gives a good perspective to all those people who had this question on this type of examinations. And moving on to the next one, this talks about the eligibility criteria and also the fee. So if you have any question, just you can write it here while I take a sip of the water. Give me just a second and I'll be back. Okay, Ravi Kiran is asking a question. Prince2 by Edureka, once more please. Okay, fine. So Prince2 examination, that is foundation and practitioner examination, you need not to go to any prometric center or anywhere. When you enroll with us, we will provide you a voucher, and after you complete your training, whenever you are ready to take the exam, you need to go to PeopleCert website. The process is given to you. We will help you. We will tell you the entire detailed process, step-by-step process, what you should do. And you need to download one small application on your computer, using which you can take this exam from anywhere in the world. You need not to travel. You can be any corner in the world. All you need is a internet connection and a webcam and microphone in your laptop, and you can take the examination. I'll give you the details about the fee structure in the next slide here. So for PMP examination, the minimum experience needed is of 3 years, and for PMI-ACP it is 2 years. 2 years means so you need to have 2000 plus 1500 hours of project management experience. Okay, and that must be so the guidance here is, in a year on an average you will be able to get 2000 hours of project management experience. So roughly around 2 years you need for PMI-ACP, but for Prince2 you need not to have any experience. Even a person who is just fresh out of college can go for Prince2 foundation and practitioner examination. Okay. Project management experience, it is needed for PMP and PMI-ACP examination. You need to, if you are a graduate, then you need to have 4500 hours of project management experience. If you're a non-graduate, then it is 7500 hours. Okay, and for PMI-ACP, there is a question from Palani, 2000 of what experience? Yes, so that is 2000 hours of general project management experience plus 1500 hours of agile project management experience. Okay, so when I say 4500 or 7500 or this 2000 hours for PMI-ACP, to get this experience you need not to be working in the capacity of a project manager. You might be playing any role in the project team. You may be the junior most person, but if you worked on certain activities, if you perform certain activities, if you perform certain responsibilities, that will be considered as your experience towards project management. Okay, and for agile, that has to be a specifically an agile project. Okay, what documentation is accepted as project management experience? And that is a question from Ravi Chandran. And Manav is saying, how would you define agile project experience? And there is no categorization in the industry. So Ravi Chandran, at the time of application you need not to submit any document. Okay, all you need to do is you need to define a project. And Mano, this answer your questions as well. All you need to do is you need to define a project, and when you look at the certain tasks that you need to do. Based on that task, I can share that link with you, Manav, after the session. So there are 7 domains in Agile. Each domain has certain tasks, and whatever work you had done towards those tasks will be considered as your experience toward agile project management experience. And same is true for your general project management experience as well. So there are 5 domains in the general project management area, and that is initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. And there are certain tasks. Based on those tasks, or if you have done some work towards those tasks, you need to document your experience, you need to calculate your hours. So Edureka will provide you an Excel based tool which will help you calculate or document your project management experience and also calculate your hours for that. Okay. And as I told you, for foundation, you need not to have any experience there. Okay. Formal training required? Yes, for all the streams and all the credentials, you require a formal training. Examination cost for PMP, it is $555. For PMI-ACP, it is $495. And for Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner, the cost of examination is included in the training cost. Okay. If you go to Edureka website, and if you go to this Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner Prince2 page, you will see the cost, you will see the training cost. So the cost that you see, the price that you see of the training will include the cost of examination. You need not to pay anything over and above that. But for PMP and PMI-ACP, when you apply for these certifications on PMI website, you need to use your international credit card to make this payment there, which is over and above the training cost. Okay. So renewal cost of the certification every 3 years. PMP and PMI-ACP, these certificates are valid for 3 years. At end of 3rd year, after completing 3 years, you need to renew those certification. And how you will renew that? You need to earn 60 PDUs, 60 PDUs. PDUs is professional development units. Okay. Parani is asking, is the Edureka's training comprehensive of these 3 approaches? Yes, Parani, absolutely. As I told you, we are an REP, registered education provider of PMI, so our course content is approved by PMI. Okay, and we cover this in detail part. And for Prince2 Foundation, the certificate never expires. Once you achieved it, it is going to be with you forever. But for practitioner, every 3 to 5 years, generally people take it towards end of the 5 year, there would be a short exam. It will not be as lengthy as a standard practitioner examination, but it will be a miniature version of that, which you need to clear, which will be easy, not at all very tough. Okay, and all you need is just apply for the re-examination. So Yuvraj is asking CSM, how does it really differs with ACP? Which one is better? Again, Yuvraj asking a question which is actually, I should not put it this way, that Agile is better or the software development is better or CSM is better. As I told you, Agile approach or PMI ACP certification is for the managers, that how they are going to lead and manage the project, whereas Scrum is an approach which will be adopted by the team. Okay, if you're asking this question, which one is better, then my answer to that would be what role you are aspiring to be. And both complement each other. If you do both, I think that will be a fantastic combination, because they do not compete with each other. They are not inferior or superior to each other. Okay. So I hope this answered your question, Yuvraj. And Palani is asking, do you provide sample exams? Yes, we provide the sample examination for each of this certificate training here, PMP, PMI-ACP, Foundation and Practitioner. We will have mock test available in our learning management system, and access to that will be free for lifetime. Once you enroll, you can access it even after 5 years, 10 years also. Okay, Ravi Kiran is asking, apology, I missed Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner part, intermediate, okay, intermediate connection. Ravi Kiran, what I'll do is, once the session ends, maybe you can stay on for a little longer, and I'll take you through the entire Prince2 Foundation practitioner again. So I will not disconnect, and I request you to be there, and whoever wants to go through it again, they can be there after the end of the session. We'll continue there. I hope that is fine, Ravi. Okay, so with this we move on to the next one here. Preparation time. How much time is needed to prepare for this? Because this is again a question which lot of people have come and asked me, how much do I study? Because someone is saying that you should study for 1 month, someone says you should study for 2 months. Some people are saying PMP examination is very tough, some are saying very easy. I don't know what to do. What I suggest is you must first of all unlearn whatever you know about project management. Why? Because for this examination, the PMIism is very important. You need to start thinking the way PMI thinks. You need to start following the approach which is suggested in PMBOK guide. There is a question from Yuvraj. I missed if we have discussed about these questions. Can you explain which methodology would be best for infrastructure related project? Infrastructure related project, is it PMP Prince2, waterfall model or agile model? For infrastructure, Yuvraj, we haven't discussed this question, but let me answer this. For infrastructure, I suggest the traditional waterfall is actually the best. That is best based on my own experience. Okay, industry may differ, different experts may differ on this, but based on my experience and my knowledge, for infrastructure project, traditional waterfall approach or the PMP or the PMBOK guide is actually the best approach. Okay, thanks a lot, Yuvraj. And Guru says few website mentions PMP exam content or pattern may change. Oh yes, that's a very important point. PMP content is not changing, exam content is not changing, it's the pattern which is changing. Okay, and that pattern is changing from January 2016. Okay. 11th January is the date when this examination pattern will change, but it will still be based on the 5th edition of PMBOK guide. Okay. If you need any more details, what you can do is you can go to edureka website and go to the blogs, and you'll find a detailed blog information about that. And I can also provide you details after the session. I can share that link with you. Okay. So coming back to this preparation time that is needed for the PMP is, I would suggest ideally it should be around 8 to 10 weeks. See, a lot of people would say, let's go for all the certification and I want to finish everything in 2 months time. You need to look at the stakes. You have paid $555 to PMI for PMP examination or $495 for PMI-ACP. Okay, so the stakes are high. Why you want to hurry? What is a hurry? If you are not able to clear it in first attempt, if you are hurrying in that, then you will have to appear for the re-examination. You need to pay $375 again for the re-examination, which is a huge fee. Okay, and see, the purpose, remember, the purpose is not to earn just the certification. If you are not able to implement that knowledge in your real life work, in your day-to-day project work, then these certifications will not matter. You will not be able to get the value out of it, because the organization expect that after you do the certification, you will be able to better manage the project, which will be visible, which must be visible also. So I would suggest you spend good 8 to 10 weeks time, assuming you will be able to study for 2 to 3 hours every day. And same is true for your PMI-ACP examination as well. Okay. But for Prince2, this duration comes down to 10 to 15 hours of study, probably 1 to 2 weeks. So how we do is we do the sessions, this Prince2 session is spread across the weekends. So between these sessions, you'll get a week's time to prepare. So end of your foundation, which is the end of the second week, you are ready to take the examination, and then you can move on to the practitioner tier. Parani is asking, are you the trainer? Yes, Parani, in certain cases, I am the trainer. As I told you in the beginning while giving my introduction, I have done thousands of hours of training. I have done hundreds of workshops and trained a lot of people. And now I'm associated with edureka. We have frequent batches and we have very good, excellent, best in the of the lot trainers, and they're all handpicked trainers as well. So yes, at times you may find me as well, and at times you'll find some other trainer who are also equally good. Okay, it all depends on which batch you are selecting. So I think this gives a okay, Parani saying I will definitely consider joining, scheduling and other things permitting. Parani, thanks a lot, and you're most welcome. For any other assistance, you can just reach out to us and we'll help you in all the ways. Okay. So the next question here is, okay, so there is a question before we move on to the next one from Jagdish. Can you explain the capability of Prince2 foundation level is enough or practitioner level? I'm sorry, I'm not very clear with the question, Jagdish. Are you asking that Prince2 foundation is needed to go to the practitioner level, or you just want to stop at the foundation level and you don't want to go for the practitioner? If you can just clarify this, I'll answer this question. And while you type this question, let me just talk about this slide here. How to go about it? What are the different steps? If you want to go for PMP or if you want to go for PMI-ACP examination, then first of all, you must go for the training, which is a prerequisite, which is a mandatory to have this examination, to apply for this examination. After you complete the training, or you can start this in the parallel also, that you need to complete the application formalities. You need to fill up the form, you need to give the details of your project that you worked on, and then once your application is approved, you have made the payment and you have blocked your examination at the Prometric Center, you start preparing for it. You prepare it for it, you study for 140 to 160 hours based on your knowledge, your capacity, and also the time that you can pull out. And you go and take the examination, and I'm sure you all will be able to clear it in first attempt. And once you earn those credentials, then you need to start maintaining it. As I told you, this certification, these credentials are valid for 3 years, and over a period of 3 years time, you need to earn 60 PDUs. Okay, and for Prince2 foundation and practitioner, again training is mandatory. You need to go for the training, and your application formality will be a part of your enrollment with edureka. So once you complete the training, we will provide you a voucher which you can use to download this on take the examination online from anywhere in the world. And as I told you, foundation is you don't need any renewal for foundation, but for practitioner you need to take a short examination every 3 to 5 years. So Jagdishan has come up with a question, rephrase the question, is looking for the information if foundation level is enough for team members or practitioner level will be required to work comfortably on engineering services project. Yes, very important question, and I would sincerely suggest that you complete the practitioner exam as well. Okay, foundation and practitioner both are very important and they play a crucial role in that. There are a lot of people who do only foundation. Okay, they don't want to go about practitioner, but from the market standpoint, from the job prospect standpoint, and also the usability of that, I would sincerely suggest go for foundation and practitioner both. Okay. Cost of Prince2 similar to that of other certification is not mentioned. Is there any reason? Yes, Ravi Kiran, there is a reason, because as I told you, for PMP and PMI-ACP examination, after you complete the training, then you need to go to this pmi.org website and you need to apply for these examination, and then you need to pay this fee to PMI. Whereas for Prince2 foundation and practitioner, the fee is included into the training cost. When you pay us the training, when you enroll for the training and you pay that price to us, examination cost is included in that. You need not to pay anything extra over and above that. Okay, I hope this answers the questions here. And then we move to the next this slide where we were. And as I told you, edureka will provide you support on each and every stage. We are an REP, we are ATO of PeopleCert, and we are providing best-in-class training for all the certifications here. And after the certification, our SME guidance will be there for you to apply. If you have any difficulties, you are not able to figure out how to document your experience, how to calculate your experience, we will be there to assist you, help you in filling up the application form as well. And then you complete your training and you start preparing for the examination. And our LMS, learning management system, which will have all the recording of the sessions and all the study material, all the presentations that the trainer is going to share on the screen, and also the mock test will be available to you throughout your life. It doesn't expire. Okay. And if you have any difficulties, if you want to refresh any topic, if you have any question that you want to ask to SME, all you need to do is drop in a mail and we'll be there to assist you. And we also help you in earning those PDUs which are required to retain or renew your PMP and PMI-ACP certification. And we will also provide you re-examination facility for Prince2. Okay, Ravi Karan is asking, but still, what is the exact cost for Prince2? I need to decide accordingly if company can afford that for me. Ravi Karan, I will ensure that you get the details about the cost right after the session. Okay. Okay, and with this, moving on to the next year, so just a few words about edureka and how it works with edureka. Edureka specializes in virtual and interactive online classes. All the sessions, all the training that I talked about, they're all virtual, live, instructor led, where you need not to travel anywhere. You can be at the comfort of your home and connect to the training through internet. So the same tool that you have seen here in the webinar will be used for the training as well, where you will be able to interact with the instructor. You will be able to see the screen that the instructor is sharing. The best part of online classes is all the sessions are recorded the way we are recording this webinar. So in case if you miss any session, in case if you arrive late for the training, or anything happened to your net connection, you will be able to go through the recording later on. And also you can re-attend these classes as many times as you want. Once you enroll, there is no limit how many times you can attend the class. You can attend that as many times as you want. The best part of this availing this recording is, suppose you attended the training and you started preparing for the PMP examination. For some professional reason, official reason, you need to travel to the client side, or maybe for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, you come back and you have lost the thread. And that is the time when the recordings will be extremely helpful. You can log into your LMS, which is never going to expire. You can go through your recording, go through the entire session again. Along with that, you will also have this 24/7 technical support. We will be there always to help you and support you and guide you on that. And at the end of the completion of this training, you will receive this contact hour certificate or PDU certificate for PMI-ACP, and we will also provide you voucher for the online Prince2 examination along with the assistance in filling the examination form. Okay, so that is about a very quick note about edureka. And it's 10:04 here. We have overshot this by 4 minutes, but I think that is all right looking at the kind of questions we were getting here. And I'm open for the questions. If you have any details, if you want to ask me anything, you can ask me. And while you type in the questions, let me have a sip of the water. Hi Sachin, please tell me if you have any question. Okay, fine. So what I'll do is, there was a question who wanted to know about Prince2. What I will do is I'll go back to those Prince2 slides, and those who have gone through that or who are not interested, they can drop off and just stay here if you want to repeat that information about the Prince2. And okay, so let me go back here. And now I can see the questions coming here. I have a question regards to Prince2 from Sachin. Yes, Sachin. Okay, it says I'm looking forward to take training for Prince2. You're most welcome, Sachin, and I'll you can reach out to our support team, sales team, and we'll assist you with the enrollment formalities. And Ravi Kiran is saying, Ravi Chandran is saying, can you briefly talk about various product management approach? Ravi Chandran, yes, let me just complete the Prince2 and then I'll talk about the product management here. And Ravi Kiran is saying, Prince2 details, please. Yes, I will. I'm going back there, Ravi. We will talk about the Prince2 again. And any discount on ACP for already PMP professionals. Mano, if you're talking about the training cost, I mean, these are two independent certifications. There are two independent trainings. But when you go for the on the PMI website, there also you don't get any benefit. The only benefit you're going to get here of being in PMP is you need not to document or submit your 2000 hours of general project management experience. Okay, Yuvraj is asking, saying thanks for this webinar. You're most welcome, Yuvraj, and we will be glad to assist your friends to go for this PMP training. And cost of PMP training, Guneet, the cost of training is 13,995 INR and $299 in $290 depending on which country you are from. And Sachin is saying, but not certification. Yes, you can contact our support team and we'll assist you with the sales team and we'll assist you with the training, only the training part. And Guneet is asking, when do the training classes start? Guneet, for Prince2, we have the session starting every alternative week, and for PMP, it's every weekend we have the session starting. So you can go to our website and you can go to edureka.co/PMP and you'll get the detailed schedule there. Okay. Uh, and then I can see this questions coming up. What would be the cost of only training? Sachin, as I told you, sales team will be able to help you with that. And Ravi Kiran has a question. Since I'm 8 years experience and guy in development role, I feel I'm not eligible for PMP and PMI-ACP. Have I understood it right? No, Ravi Kiran, you are eligible. 8 years is a good enough time. And what happens most of the time, people think that they were not project managers, so they do not have the project management experience. But no, if you were a part of any project team and you contributed in any way towards the project, that will be considered as your project management experience. Okay. You can contact me after the session. I'm going to write down my email address here. Okay, this is my email address. Let me know if you are able to see that, and I will share this Excel based tool with you, which will help you to document your experience, and we can connect offline where I will assist you. I'll help you how to do this. Guru is asking, if we enroll for PMP, do we get PMBOK or any other similar material? Guru, we are not authorized. In fact, no company in the world is authorized to redistribute the soft copy of PMBOK guide. After you enroll for the PMP examination, you will be given a free personalized copy of PMBOK guide latest edition from PMI. You can download it from PMI website. Manav is asking, any suggestion of ACP reference material? Yes, as I told you, Mike Griffith, I'll write the name here. Hold on, let me just write down it here. Mike Griffith is PMI ACP exam preparation, is actually considered to be a very good book for PMI ACP exam preparation. And then there is a book by Jim Highsmith, which is also very good. And Dan Rosthom is and Doc Shimp is also very good. So there are a lot of good books there. I would suggest you log into pmi.org website. You can download the list of the reference material from there. Okay, so Harjot is asking, what is the eligibility requirement or prerequisite for PMI ACP? Okay, so Ravi, I'm so sorry I took a while. Let me go back to these slides where we will talk about the Prince2 Foundation. And Harjot, you will also get answer to your question here. I'm repeating this topic here. Okay, I'll repeat this here, that the prerequisite about it. And before that, Rachit Malhotra has a question. Can you guide me on difference between PMP, RMP and GARP? Which one is better, has more value? I completed my PMP certification last month. Uh, Rachit, I'm so sorry, but I actually do not have much details about GAAP, but risk management professional is definitely, I know it's from PMI only, but I will not be able to give you a comparison because to be very frank, I do not know much about GAAP certification. Okay, but I can definitely assist you and I can find some details and I can provide you the information on that. Okay, and Guneet Tandon is asking, and PM exam preparation book. Well, the Bible of project management, that is PMBOK Guide 5th edition. If you take this examination now, PMBOK Guide 5th edition, if you decide to take it after 2017, it will be 6th edition. Okay, so I will cover this slide, this data here again. The examination for all this certification like PMP and PMI-ACP is based on PMBOK guide, and for PMI-ACP it is a various other reference materials, and for Prince2 it is based on the official manual which is called as Prince2 manual and managing successful projects with Prince2. Number of questions that you get in this examination is for PMP there are 200 questions, multiple choice abstract questions in which you need to take up in 4 hours time, and for PMI-ACP there would be abstract questions with multiple choice 120 abstract questions in 3 hours time. For Prince2 foundation and practitioner, for foundation it will be 75 questions in 1 hour, and for practitioner they would be divided in 8 different sections. So it is going to be a scenario based objective question. You will be given a case study and the questions, you'll be given a scenario, a project scenario, and all the questions will be based on that case study or the project scenario that you have. There would be 8 different sections and each section will have 10 questions. So in a way 80 questions in 2.5 hours. Okay, passing score for PMP and PMI-ACP they are not disclosed because PMI is they treat it more like a psychometric assessment. You will be getting different questions, and it may also happen that the questions may get repeated with minor changes, minor difference in that. For example, there are 200 questions in the PMP examination. You reach to question number 10. There is a specific or particular question at question number 10. After some time at question number 55 you will see it's basically repetition of the same question which you saw at number 10 but with very minor changes. You will answer that question again at, let's say, question number 125. You may find the same question with different options this time. So you can see one question with very minor changes and different options. So what PMI checks is, did you answer the question by fluke, or you applied some logic, or you applied some common sense into that. So based on how you answer those 3 questions, you will be judged that what mark should be given to you. Okay, that model is not disclosed, it's not open out in public, no one knows about that. But what you'll get is the grades, whether you are proficient, moderate proficient, or below proficient. And for Prince2 examination, it is 50% for foundation and 55% is a passing score for practitioner examination. Okay. PMP exam, you need to go to Prometric Center to take the examination. So do the PMI-ACP. For foundation and practitioner, you need not to travel anywhere. Okay, you will be able to take this exam online from anywhere in the world. When you enroll for the course, as I'm repeating that, when you enroll for the course and you complete the training, Edureka is going to give you a voucher. You can go to PeopleCert website. Using that voucher, you will download the examination application, and then you can take this examination from anywhere in the world. All you need is a computer, an internet connection, a webcam, and a microphone. Okay, so that is about the details and the comparison of that. So Mr. Ravi, I think this answered your questions, or does it cover everything you wanted to know, or are there any specific questions? Fee structure, okay. Okay, let me go there. So for PMP, it is US dollar 555. For training, it is the cost which is listed on our website. For PMP, it is 13,995. in INR and $299 in USD. Depending on which country you are, you can pay as appropriate. And for PMI-ACP, again, you need to go to our website and check the cost here. But the certification, the exam cost is different. You need to pay that separately to PMI. But for Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner, this the training cost that you see on our website is inclusive of your examination voucher cost as well. You need not to pay anything extra, anything separate. Okay, I hope it gives you clarity on that. And Guru has a question: if we start PMP preparation now with PMBOK 5 and upon PMBOK 6 release, will it be delta change on the PMBOK 5, or we need to do almost restart from scratch? Guru, first of all, the next edition of PMBOK guide is expected somewhere in second quarter of 2017. So if you start preparing for the PMP exam now, I would suggest you'll be ready, or you should take this examination sometime in end of November or December. For any reason, let's say you took the training now and you are not able to appear for it for next 1.5 years, then depending on the changes, you will have to study. But what edureka does is, we will be organizing special sessions focusing only on the change, which will guide you what has changed and what is the delta. And we will also assist you prepare for the newer examination in the most recent version as well. And for that, you need not to pay anything extra. It will be free for all our esteemed customers. Ravi Kiran is asking edureka.co/PMP is where I can find it. Absolutely correct. Bingo. You can go there and you can find all the details there. Okay. So I hope I was able to answer all your questions. I'm still here if you have any more questions, and I'll be glad to answer that. The regular session is over, and I'm just repeating topics based on the specific request of the people. And there was a question, I can see there was a question about the product management approach. Let me just see who had asked this question here. Okay, I'm just scrolling up there. I'm sorry, I'm not able to figure out who asked this question and what was a specific question there. If you're still there and if you can repeat that, I'll be glad to answer that. So how will I know your next session detail? Like I found out this from FB page of edureka. Ravi Kiran, you are talking about PMP training or PMI-ACP or Prince2 training, or about the webinar? So for webinar or anything, you just need to stay hooked to our website and will be getting all the details there. Okay. For the session information, you can log into our website respective pages and you'll get all the details there. And for webinar, once you enroll, we will have your details and we will keep you posted on the upcoming webinars. Okay. Okay, Ravi Chandran is saying, are there any product management approach similar to PMP or Prince2? Yes, there are specific product management approaches available there, but you know that all are also considered as a subset of PMP or Prince2. Okay, because we are talking about the management. If you have to develop a product, okay, ultimately it is a project. The specifics will be different. The way you handle an infrastructure project will be different than the way you handle your product. Okay, but they all will be a project, and that also will fall under either PMP or Prince2 approach. Okay. There are no specific certification from these bodies on the product management, but there are some international association of product management, and there are some associations available which have some kind of certifications there, but they are not recognized. Okay. I do not have specific details about the product management certifications, but I can definitely pull out some information from you and send it to you if you can send me the details there. And Guru is saying, thanks Nishan, the session was informative. You're most welcome, Guru, and I hope I was able to answer your questions. Can you let us know at high level what does LMS of edureka for PMP includes? Is it supplement to PMBOK guide? Okay, good point. it is not a supplement to PMBOK guide, but what happens is when you enroll, you'll get access to the learning management system. And that learning management system will have the recording of the previous sessions. So even before your batch starts, you can actually start going to the recordings, which will give you a very good perspective about the subject, and you can do some preparation work for your session, and you can use those sessions to interact with the instructor and ask your questions as well. Along with that, you'll also get access to all the slides that the trainer is going to share in this session. You'll also get a quick reference guide which will give you a snapshot, a very handy snapshot of all the processes, and it will also have all the acronyms and key definitions and important formulas for numerical questions as well. Okay, along with that, you will also get a tool, Excel based tool, which will help you how to calculate your project hours and how to apply for this PMP sorry, how to document your project management experience. Okay, uh, and PMBOK guide is something that you will get from PMI when you enroll for the PMP examination. Okay, and Ravindra, I hope I was able to answer your question, Guru. And Ravindran is asking how these approach fits into ITIL service lifestyle. See, as I told you, ITIL or infrastructure project, they they are not subset there, but there also you have projects. Okay, they also use this project management approach. They also use this project management methodologies to deploy these projects, and again they complement each other. Okay, what I'll do, Ravindran, I will share a blog with you. I'm going to send you a detail. If you can just drop me a mail, I'm going to share a complete a detailed blog about it, which will help you understand how this different project management approach will fit into IT services lifecycle. Ravi Kiran is saying a good way to know about the certification. Glad to hear. Thanks a lot, Ravi. It's definitely a pleasure interacting with all of you, and I hope I was able to answer all your questions. Give me just a minute, I'll sip some water. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we can probably sign off here. And Manav, definitely I'll share the blog. What I'll do is you will receive the recording of the session. You'll also get the slides that I've shared in the session, and I'll also include links to those blogs as well. And with this, we are good to sign off from here, and I wish all of you a very best, and I'm sure you will all be able to clear all this certification in first attempt and first go. And edureka is always there to support you, to assist you, and to guide you in your career progression. With this, good night and have a good day to you depending on where you are, and all the best, and you can stay in touch with me over all the social media. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.